I always believed that education was a great instrument to try to rectify the ills of society. And I was going to be an educator. I was going to teach the society something about itself that it might not know, and that I hoped that these lessons would themselves be effective instruments of making progress along racial lines. And I thought that I could do this teaching and writing wherever and whenever. And I was, to tell you, well, here's one. My motivations when I taught at North Carolina College were not great in terms of next step or anything like that. I got into liking to do research, liking to read and to write, and I just wanted to do some more. I had done this, published my first book when I was 25 or 6, 26 or 7, and I liked that so much I wanted to write another one, you see. And then I wrote another one, and that I was invited to be professor at Howard University. Now, Howard University in 1947, when I went there, was the capstone of black education. It was the end of the line. There was nowhere to go after that. This country had spoken, and the limits were clearly defined. There was nothing else I could do. And I kept on writing and working just the same, just as hard as I ever did. And for what? And for going where? I'm a full professor at Howard University. I'm even at the rung, even as a young professor. I'm a young super professor, as they call them. But I kept running to the library. I had a study room down there, working every day, trying to educate this country along lines which I thought they were ignorant. And
About race.
about race and about relationships, racial relationships. I don't want to go too far and believe me, I could change the world or change even a lot of people. But I got great satisfaction personally out of doing the work. If also it would assist us in moving a few notches forward, that's also very good.
But did you not?
Please don't overemphasize my motives as being so high flown and so great as to think that I could change the world by writing another book or something like that. I simply don't think it was that.
Well, okay, not change the world, but certainly it seems a reasonable expectation that if you present people with factual information, that they will then respond to that factual information and alter their thinking, behavior, whatever, in accord with that.
Yes, yes. I just simply don't want to overdo it. I would hope that some people might modify their views and their actions, as a matter of fact.
Did it disappoint you over the years that more people did not respond rationally to?
That's the point I want to make. That I wasn't doing it just for that. Otherwise, my disappointment would be greater than it has been. I get great personal satisfaction out of achieving a task that I've set before myself, whatever it is. Now, to answer your question, yes, I'm disappointed that we haven't moved as fast and as far as I would like. I'm disappointed that people do not regard my books as the truth. Not all people do. Some people do, but not all people do. And I'm tempered by that, I am sobered by that fact that I can write my head off, and there'll be some people who say, well, how stupid can you be? And, look at Franklin. He doesn't know what he's talking about. This is not going to happen. Or this is not going to move the world or anything like that. And that's one of the things my father was trying to say to me. My father was a greater optimist than I am. And he thought that I was too young to be so lacking in hope for the future. I kept my hopes under control and chained, without letting it get away from me. He thought that was not very good, that I should be much more optimistic, that mankind would move more rapidly toward perfection, and his goal would be greater. And it was very interesting because he was older than I was, and you would think he would be more restrained than I was, but he was more optimistic than I. And I called him a romantic. That's what we argued. He and I argued at this point. And I said, well, you're so romantic. You're just full of imagination, and you're soft. I called him all kinds of names like that. We had a wonderful time arguing these points. And I was more restrained because I said, well, maybe some people will believe it. And some people will be changed by what I expose. But I would get great satisfaction even if they aren't, because it's a personal satisfaction that I can achieve.